For years, the streaming box sitting under your television has been treated like an afterthought, a simple black plastic puck whose only job is to pipe Netflix or YouTube into your living room while your actual computing power lives entirely inside your phone, tablet, or laptop. But if you have been paying attention to the quiet leaks, supply chain whispers, and code structures emerging from Cupertino, you know that narrative is about to shatter completely. Apple is preparing to launch the next generation Apple TV 4K. And for the first time in the history of the product category, this isn't just a minor spec bump or a silent processor swap. This is a total re-architecting of what your television centerpiece is capable of doing. If you are currently sitting on the fence wondering whether to pick up the aging 2022 model or wait for what is coming down the pipeline, you need to understand why this upcoming release changes everything, why the hardware gap between generations is wider than it has ever been, and why this specific device might just become the most important piece of technology in your entire house. Let's break down everything leaked about the Apple TV 4K, why the timing points directly to a massive fall rollout, and why this box is worth every single second of anticipation. To understand why the upcoming release is generating this level of industry noise, we first have to look at the elephant in the room, the current third-generation model. Released way back in late 2022 and powered by the A15 Bionic chip, that device has stood as the longest unchanged streaming hardware in Apple's modern ecosystem. For nearly 4 years, it has coasted on being fast, reliable, and efficient. But technology does not stand still, and the software demands of the modern ecosystem have outgrown what a 2022 smartphone chip can comfortably handle over the long haul. The most glaring bottleneck and the primary reason why industry insiders are telling everyone to hold off their purchases comes down to a very specific hardware constraint: memory. The current Apple TV 4K ships with 4 GB of RAM. While that was entirely adequate for standard 4K video playback and basic tvOS navigation, it creates a brick wall for the future. Apple Intelligence, the company's sweeping suite of deep, on-device artificial intelligence features, has a strict hardware floor. It has never run on a device with less than 8 GB of RAM. This means that no matter how many routine tvOS updates Apple pushes to the older box, it is fundamentally locked out of the AI era. If you buy a streaming box today that lacks the necessary memory threshold, you are buying hardware destined to sit on the sidelines while the rest of your Apple ecosystem evolves. The new model arriving this year changes that equation entirely by closing the RAM gap and introducing silicon that transforms the living room experience. The headline upgrade anchoring the upcoming hardware refresh is the expected integration of an A-series chip belonging to a much higher performance tier, with current supply chain reporting pointing directly to an A17 Pro class or similarly advanced architecture. This is a monumental generational leap over the existing A15 Bionic. Moving to a 3nm architecture brings desktop-class processing power and hardware-accelerated ray tracing to your television screen. For years, Apple has tried to position the platform as a legitimate gaming destination via Apple Arcade, but developers have often been constrained by mobile-tier thermal and processing limits. With an A17 Pro class engine inside a living room box, the narrative shifts toward true console-quality gaming. We are talking about running heavy, immersive titles natively on your TV without needing a bulky console plugged into your entertainment center. But gaming is only a fraction of the story. The real magic of this processing headroom is how it handles intelligence and automation. With double the memory expected to land alongside this advanced processor, the device finally clears the threshold to run full, on-device AI operations. This means a complete transformation of Siri. We are moving away from the rigid, easily confused voice commands of the past and stepping into a conversational, context-aware assistant that understands natural language, remembers your preferences, and can parse complex multi-step requests right on your television. Imagine searching for something to watch not by typing key words into a clumsy remote interface, but by simply describing a mood, an actor, a plotline, or even a vague memory of a scene, and letting the system instantly comb through every streaming app you subscribe to with hyper-intelligent precision. Furthermore, this processing power fuels advanced content discovery rows that adapt dynamically to your viewing habits, presenting choices that feel curated by a human rather than generated by a basic algorithm. Beyond raw computing muscle, connectivity is getting an equally aggressive overhaul. The upcoming release is widely rumored to incorporate Apple's custom wireless networking silicon, bringing support for cutting-edge connectivity standards like Wi-Fi 7 and advanced Bluetooth protocols. If you have ever experienced a stutter or a sudden drop in resolution during a high-stakes sports broadcast or a Dolby Vision movie because your home network got congested, you know how frustrating wireless bottlenecks can be. Wi-Fi 7 integration changes the game by utilizing multi-link operation in wider channels, ensuring rock-solid, ultra-low latency 4K HDR streaming even when multiple devices are saturating your home router. It also guarantees instantaneous, flawless AirPlay performance when you are flinging content from your iPhone or Mac straight up to the big screen. Then there is the smart home ecosystem. For a long time, the device has quietly operated as a home hub, running automations, managing HomeKit accessories, and supporting the Matter connectivity standard. But as Apple expands its footprint in home automation with rumored new home displays, smart cameras, and updated audio gear, the central hub needs to be smarter, faster, and more integrated than ever before. The updated wireless and processing architecture means your living room box will act as a lightning-fast command center for every smart lock, light bulb, thermostat, and security camera in your house. The integration with the broader smart home ecosystem is expected to become tighter, bringing more glanceable controls right to your television display without interrupting what you are watching. When it comes to physical design, Apple is sticking to a proven formula. Do not expect a radical cosmetic redesign or a wild new shape. The sleek, compact, low-profile black box aesthetic that fits seamlessly into any media console or mounts discreetly behind a screen is here to stay. Apple rarely redesigns the form factor of this device because the current physical footprint is already remarkably efficient, requiring no internal cooling fans and maintaining a tiny desktop footprint. Instead of changing how the box looks on the outside, all of the engineering effort has been poured entirely into what happens on the inside. There are also lingering references in recent software code pointing towards subtle revisions for the Siri Remote, ensuring that the physical controller matches the updated software landscape. Speaking of software, the device will fully capitalize on the latest visual overhaul of tvOS, featuring immersive translucent menu elements, layered glass design motifs, and cleaner vertical presentation cards within the TV app that make navigating your media library feel genuinely futuristic. The timing of this release is coming into sharp focus. With major software rollouts and hardware events traditionally clustering around the fall window, September stands out as the prime launch target. Apple frequently aligns its living room hardware updates with broader ecosystem pushes, and matching this release with the deployment of major software architectures makes complete strategic sense. This means we are only weeks away from seeing whether all of these leaks materialize into reality. For anyone looking at the current marketplace, where pricing adjustments have pushed older hardware higher, buying an outdated streaming box right now is a financially questionable move. Waiting just a little longer ensures you get hardware equipped with modern memory standards, next-generation wireless connectivity, and full compatibility with the AI features that will define the ecosystem for the next several years.